What is up, ladies and gentlemen? In case you can't read, my name is DavidCigam. This is my Mr. Robot Season 3, Episode 2, titled Undo.gz, something like that. Review, rating, summary. Let me go ahead and do a quick recap of what happened this episode. I'm not going to be as technical or as detailed as I might have been before. I just want to do a quick summary. We open up with a pretty awesome little montage showing what Elliot's doing at E-Corp and kind of giving a little background plot to the plan. But we see that Elliot is still a very lonely person, and that kind of gets to him. His loneliness gets to him so much that he meets Angela. We also see that Angela is working with the FBI, which is something I kind of predicted last week. I kind of thought she was, and she is working with the FBI. And so his loneliness has kept him from interacting with Darlene, excuse me, has kept him from interacting with Darlene. And I don't know why Angela wasn't in this episode, but he pretty much, with him not interacting with Darlene, Mr. Robot hasn't been able to come out. He interacts with Darlene. Mr. Robot comes out, harasses Darlene. Darlene bugs his computer for the FBI. Mr. Robot's out and about. We have some scenes with him with the psychiatrist. Mr. Robot comes out with the psychiatrist and kind of scares the psychiatrist, and the whole time Elliot didn't even realize it happened. We got that little cool scene with the emojis on the subway that was kind of used in the trailer for this season. That was in this episode. And Mr. Robot's out. Elliot's still trying to stop stage 2. I guess Mr. Robot's trying to stop Elliot. We didn't really see a lot of the, we didn't see Irving. We didn't see Tyrell this episode. Like I said, we didn't really see Angela. We just saw like a little glimpse of her. On the flip side, we did see White Rose and the other gentleman. I forgot his name. The older gentleman that's trying to get E-Corp to be the new currency, or the new leading currency of the world. We saw some scenes with them where they're kind of battling it out, and then White Rose says no matter what happens with the UN vote, we're going to do stage 2 regardless. And we saw some scenes with, with Tyrell's wife. I forgot her name. Tyrell's wife and her bodyguard and her, I guess, ex-boyfriend. We saw some scenes there where she gets shot and killed, and then her bodyguard gets shot but didn't die, and then the guy that shot him got killed. What a big moment there. What a crazy scene that was. That was definitely one of the biggest moments so far of the season, seeing her get shot in the head like that. Overall, it was a very entertaining episode. It left us with a little cliffhanger that Mr. Robot has figured out that the FBI is telling him. And, or maybe he hasn't figured it out yet, but it looks like he's about to figure it out. So, it has a little bit of cliffhanger going into the next episode. It should be a little bit interesting. So far, this was a lot better than the first episode. The first episode, I really didn't enjoy a lot of the aspects of it. I gave it 4 stars. My rating for this episode is 4 stars and 1/4, so 4 1/4 stars, or 4.25. Let me explain that. My entertainment was a 4. It was a very entertaining episode, but I don't think it was entertaining enough for me to say, oh, this is a 5. It was a 4. Acting was a 4. Acting was phenomenal this episode, but it's just not enough for a 5. Story was a 4, and this one was one I really had to think about, but I think there was a few, maybe some dialogue and just a few stuff written in that I didn't really like that kept it from being 5 stars. I think, for example, where Mr. Robot talked about how the buses aren't running, so how should be taking a bus. They're on a labor strike. I don't know if that was actually even in the show before he said that, so I kind of really don't like that. Honestly, and it's not a lot that kept it from being a 5, but it's something. And like I said in my earlier videos, it just takes one little thing to keep something from being a 5. So just something I really didn't like, and that was that in this episode. So it was close to being a 5-star in the story department. Presentation, 5 stars. And that's where the 4.25 comes from. I thought the presentation this episode was amazing. It was perfect. Great cinematography, great use of sound, great use of just narration, the montage, the scene where Tyrell's wife gets shot, the special effects in that scene. Just overall, great presentation, great cinematography. Mr. Robot knocked out of the park this week. I gave that 5 stars, so I give it 4 stars and 1/4 for this episode, which is the highest rated episode so far this season. And it's a great episode, and it, last week, I guess I want to talk about going forward now. I want to talk about my predictions for the future episodes. So I'm going to warn you, I might spoil it for you, so if you don't like spoilers or you don't like people predicting stuff in TV shows, just stop watching. But if you don't mind, if you don't care, like, I don't know what's going to happen, I'm just predicting. But going forward, I guess I'll start off saying that I did predict that she was working with the FBI. I thought that was kind of weird. And I still kind of predict that Angela might fall in love with Mr. Robot for some reason. But I guess going forward, I really can't make any predictions. It's just I really have no idea what's going to happen going forward. Ellie and Mr. Robot are fighting, definitely. Darlene's working with the FBI, and Angela's going to be in there somewhere, and we have a Right Rose storyline, and the older gentleman that I really need to get his name, written down for the next time I do one of these videos, so more people know what I'm talking about. But I really can't make any predictions going forward. It was a good episode. It was definitely a good episode, and it was close. It was close to 5 stars in a lot of departments, but it just didn't hit it. So I give it 4 stars and 1/4, which is a great rating. It is a great rating for a TV show. If you were to rate that out of 10, that would be like what, 8.5. So it's definitely a good rating for a TV show. I enjoyed this episode. There's not really much else to talk about it. I can't predict anything. I made a prediction last week. It was accurate. I can't predict anything going forward. This show is... Next episode, I think, is going to maybe introduce new storylines that we haven't really seen yet, possibly. And I do look forward to see what's going to happen in the next episode, what's going to happen this season. I was kind of let down by episode 1. I thought season 2 overall was better than the first episode this season. I was really let down. But this season kind of brought it back that, well, this could be a good season of Mr. Robot. This was a very good Mr. Robot episode, the type of episodes I enjoyed in season 2. So I do look forward to the next week's episode. I have no predictions. I want to know what your opinion is. What did you think of this episode? What did you think of my ratings? I know some people like to they don't like my ratings. So if you want to criticize my ratings, you can do that down in the comments. And just, do you have any predictions? I have no idea what's going to happen. And just what did you think of the episode overall? Did you think Tyrell's wife getting shot shocked you? It shocked me. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But beyond that, that's this video. That's my Mr. Robot Season 3 Episode 2 review. I liked it. 4 stars and 1/4. Let me know what your opinion of it is in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and click like. If you want to see more Mr. Robot reviews or any other videos I make on this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Again, my name is DavidCigam. Peace out.